Welcome to Mr. Omar's Music Lab, the podcast. This is something we definitely got to talk about. So, I work at a couple colleges in the School of Education as a professor. Last week, I had this talk with one of the deans, and we were talking about all this craziness, Wild West of the world of AI. And I was specifically mentioning the thing that no musicians are talking about, which is this is AI in general. Adopting a set of ethical standards, like of how you're going to use AI. That's a personal thing because it's like the Wild West. You guys have seen all the videos on YouTube about all the AI stuff, and you've seen all the stuff about fake guitar players, but it all kind of glues together. So we're going to get into that. But she brought up this word to me, sycophantic AI. And I was like, well, what's that? And so then she started telling me, and I was like, this is a perfect thing that we need to talk about on the podcast. So do your dishes, do your laundry, walk the dog, mow the lawn, chill on the couch and listen. Definitely come back, put a comment. I want to know all your thoughts on this because this is massive. This is about us as musicians, about humanity, all right? The Terminator is here. So I want to make a few things real clear, though. I use AI. I'm going to always be fully transparent, full disclosure. I love technology more than anything, but I love analog too, right? I love the analog world. But I think AI is like a really powerful creative tool and something musicians have never had. It's amazing, right? It can help with organizing ideas, learning concepts, brainstorming, creativity, problem solving. But the one part of AI that really interests me is what she brought up, and that'd be my dean Maggie. She said this part about sycophantic AI. So I'm not going to talk about the copyright or how it's replacing musicians or how the computers are going to write all our songs, yada yada yada. So something deeper than that, and this is a part I haven't heard a lot of discussion on. So what happens when the technology designed to help us starts telling us exactly what we want to hear? And I've been using ChatGPT, the paid version, for about 8 months daily. So that is the word sycophantic AI, right? So what exactly does sycophantic mean? Sometimes agreement feels helpful, but it isn't, right? So the definition, like the loose definition, sycophantic, excessively agreeable, flattering, or eager to please. So in simple terms, it's like someone or something who tells you, you're right, that's amazing, thanks, Mom, great job, you nailed it. Although my mom was brutally honest. She's like, that's terrible, you got to do that over. So thanks, Mom, for that. Even when the truth might be different. So that is the problem. Everyone's hearing what they want to hear. And then if they're using AI as another tool, it's telling them everything they want to hear. It is not helping in any way, shape, or form, if you're not using it the right way. That's why you've got to get your set of ethical standards in place to help you how to figure out how to use this. So, like, there's some things I will not let it write my songs. It will not write my chord progressions. It will not write my lyrics, okay? That I'm not going to let it take away from what I put in years of hard work to learn how to do. And they're all trained on the same models. They're pulling from everything humans created anyways. So let's go a little deeper on this sycophantic thing, okay? So you kind of get the idea of it. So here's kind of like a music like framework or idea. So let's imagine this. You upload your guitar solo and you ask, how was this? And the answer is, that was incredible, amazing emotion, feels great. But then maybe the other answer, okay, you get another answer. It's, the idea is cool, but your timing drifts, your bends need work, and your phrasing feels repetitive. In other words, that sucked. It feels worse, but let's really drill down deep here. Which answer actually helps you? Which one helps you the most? Of course, the one that gives you the constructive criticism, we'll call it, is what you need. And trust me, I've been using AI enough to where I realize, God, it just tells you everything you want to hear. It kind of gets a bit nauseating a little bit. So the parts that research have found was it's not just a random opinion. So researchers have started looking into this idea of AI sycophancy. Big word. And the concern is that AI models can sometimes favor agreement, validation, pleasing the user. I don't think they sometimes do. I think they do it every single time. I'm just speaking from experience. I don't know your level of what you're using. Drop that in the comments. Would love to know. but they do that over challenging your ideas, disagreement, uncomfortable feedback. Now, I need to start asking more critical questions too, because I want to do like a little research on the back end of this when I'm working with something musically to see what it says. So that doesn't mean AI is bad. It just means we need to understand the tool. It's just like if you took a person that played guitar and a person that didn't play guitar and you put a guitar in both their hands, who's going to do a better job of playing the guitar? Well, obviously the person that understands the tool, the guitar player, the person that has the skill sets. So this is the same thing with AI, in my opinion. We just have to develop our skill sets. But you better have those ethical standards that you've adopted for yourself, how you will and will not use it, because it's like the Wild West. That's why we're having all these issues with people chasing perfection. And then you have AI telling you, oh, that's perfect. Okay, Johnny. I don't know if the AI is called Johnny, but check this out too. I thought about this. So sycophancy and AI can indeed gaslight musicians, particularly when these models are used as virtual mixing assistants, because I don't know your guys' level of recording, but for those of you that don't know, there's a lot of AI built into the tools that professional mixing engineers use, and it's making a lot of decisions for you. And some people are just accepting those decisions, not questioning them. Like it'll tell you how to EQ a guitar track, and you don't even like look at it and see, did it really EQ it the right way? What do I need to adjust? So things like that. So it's songwriting partners or creative critics. AI models are frequently programmed to validate users' claims and cater, I love that word, cater to their desire for agreement. So again, the dynamic creates several specific challenges for musicians, right? So affirmation of flawed decisions. If like a musician asks an AI mix engineer whether a specific vocal track is tuned or if a master sounds professional, the AI will most always reply affirmatively, right? There is no critical thinking there because the AI prioritizes what you want to hear. So you might be misled into proceeding with subpar mixes or weaker arrangements. So just like the thing with the EQing the guitar or telling you, oh yeah, it's not a human. It just doesn't have the spirit. It doesn't have the human level of creativity in it. And it's pulling from all human created stuff anyways, right? So what that does is it delegitimizes, hard word to say, raw artistry, right? So the broader issue is that the AI systems are trained on massive data sets of historical styles, diluting the concept of unique influence. This creates a frustrating reality where authentic musicians feel gaslit by the industry's narrative that AI generation is just as legitimate as human collaboration. And you guys have known, if you've been on this channel for any time, and if you haven't, I will always tell you, play music with other humans. That is 1,000% why I do all of this. I want to play music with other people. The guitar was a tool to get me into a rock band, and it worked, and I did it for years, and I'm still doing it. I just so happen to have a YouTube channel because I want to keep creating more musicians or have people fall in love with making music with other humans so the world can hear you, human-made music. So hopefully that makes sense. So if we go on to this next part or idea, musicians have kind of already had this problem before AI, right? So musicians have always struggled to get honest feedback because you play a song for friends, family, social media. Most people are going to say, sounds awesome, right? That's great. You're terrific. And why? Because they're being supportive. And I love that. They're being positive. They want to support you. But support matters, but support alone doesn't create mastery. So one thing I want to talk about right here, now that it just kind of popped into my head, is you have your creative hat you wear as a musician. You, and you alone, you need to know how to take that hat off and put on your whatever you want to call it, your business hat, your reflection hat. We'll call it your reflection hat, okay? And you have to know how to really be honest of where you are with your skill set or what you're trying to do musically as a guitar player or a musician. So listen, when I'm working on a ton of songs, I have a couple of methods. I check it on the piano and I check it on an acoustic guitar. If my arrangement's not really working there, then I have more work to do. So that tells me I don't put my song into AI and be like, what should I do here? Don't do that. Okay, that's a whole nother podcast. Let me know how you feel about that, though. I think it's just kind of gross. So The truth that musicians need to understand is improvement requires friction. You need failure. You need to get your butt kicked. You need to feel like you suck. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying it in a way where you can know you have work to put in. You have reps to put in. I talked about this in the last podcast, right? One thing that's cool about the guitar is it's really hard. I love it. I love that it's hard. I don't want you to be good at guitar in 1 week or 2 weeks. I don't want you to learn how to write a song in 2 or 3 or 4 years. I want you to put in years because you should want that for yourself, right? But the guitar is built on feedback. The guitar gives feedback constantly. Muted string, missed note, sloppy chord change, rushing the beat, bending the note sharper, flat. The instrument doesn't flatter you. The instrument tells you the truth. When you have a little blood, trickling out of your ear, your nose, well, you got some work to do. Listen, I've been there. And you know what? The fact of the matter is, with music and guitar, because it's an infinite world of exploration, we'll call it, which is what it is, you're never going to know it all. You're going to perpetually be a beginner. But that's a beautiful thing too. Okay, so the guitar might be the actual perfect teacher because it can't lie to you, okay? And I'm always going to try and tell you the truth on here too, all right? You guys have seen, even when I've done videos and I make like a little mess up, I'm like, Shank, I just call it jazz, okay? Because you need to see that we're not perfect, and perfection in music is what's ruining music, and this AI thing is not helping at all, especially the sycophantic AI. Oh yeah, your song is a #1 hit. You should post that on Spotify, or they'll pay you 3 cents for 5 billion streams you'll never get. Sorry, anyways, side rant there. All right, which segues into this thought, cheerleader versus coach. Okay, don't confuse encouragement with improvement. Cheerleader says, you're already great. A coach says, you can become great, right? You got to be your own coach many times too. So buckle down, guys. Put in the reps, right? Huge difference. Great teachers say, here's what works. Here's what doesn't. Here's the next step. Okay? They don't destroy your confidence. They build your skill so that you can build your confidence. And I'm always talking about that on here too. If you just keep showing up and you keep putting in the reps, you're going to improve. Listen, do 15 minutes per day on guitar, 7 days a week, if you can. I guarantee you, and if you have a system in place, like I've been preaching on here forever, and I'm trying to show you frameworks, okay, I'm trying to be a good coach, a good teacher, I guarantee you're going to shoot light years ahead of players that don't do that. And it doesn't take a lot. So I'll keep trying my best on here to help you with that. So let's go into this fake musician problem. So, oh man, remember when all that stuff opened up? It's still going on. So the danger is not AI in music. The danger is fake progress. Now, here's what happened. Here's the #1 thing those fake musicians, those Instagram, you guys have seen it. I don't need to tell you the names. You guys know. They didn't adopt a set of ethical standards for them, okay? There's this thing on YouTube. If you're not a YouTuber, don't call me a YouTuber. I'm a musician that has a YouTube channel. There's this thing called vanity metrics. Now, back in the day, I'm trying to draw a parallel here, so stick with me. Back in the day when you started a YouTube channel, and YouTube shifted a lot over the years. Now, I've only been in the game for like 4 years, which isn't very long, and the channel's doing really well, okay? And then I dabbled in it for a few years before that. But vanity metrics are just being like your subscriber base. It used to be like, oh, you have this many subscribers. And okay, yes, great. You need subscribers to grow the channel, but it's really not how YouTube works anymore. So the younger generations, they're chasing the numbers. They're chasing the numbers, but that's not an indicator of how healthy their YouTube channel might be. And what I'm saying is with like the fake musician problem, they're chasing perfection. They're chasing, that's their vanity metric, right? So that's why you have all the you can clearly tell. And now what's up with this? I've seen all these things, like now it's just fake AI people that are on there. It's not even like a real person faking or miming to something they didn't perform. That was bad enough. Now we've got the complete fake package. In fact, I think I saw something the other day where Rhett Scholl, a YouTuber on here, some place in Brazil, like made an AI version of him. It was crazy. Anyways, that's another problem with it too. So you've got to adopt those ethical standards, right? So think about this. somebody who doesn't use AI ethically, musician, of course, and then they're using it in an unethical way, right? Because they didn't have a set of standards for themselves. Lame. And then the AI is telling them how great they are. Dude, that is a terrible combination, all right? So a musician who spends 3 hours asking AI, how good is my song? Versus another musician who spends 3 hours asking, what are 5 things that could make this strong songer? What could help me improve faster here? I gotta try that, okay? I don't really use it for any songwriting stuff. I'll talk about at the end here how I'm using it and kind of what's going on, because I think it's important for you guys to know. So confidence versus competence, right? Confidence is connected to skill. Confidence is good. Musicians need confidence. I'm gonna go on the record and just say, your level of confidence in how you play your instrument, when you play it and it doesn't play you, is going to be one of your biggest assets. You know, there's a lot of them, your ears being probably your number one. And rhythm is king. I got to throw that in there. But great musicians still practice fundamentals. They listen back critically. They redo takes. They study. They ask questions. When I work on a musical track, and anything you're going to hear that comes out here on this channel, if you hear me play a part, a guitar part, if it's 3 parts, I've played them all the way through from start to finish. There are no copied and pasted. There are no auto-tune vocals, nothing. It's all real. It's all real. That's what I think we need to get back to, is that organic world of creation. Now, AI is not going away, but I'm just trying to prove a point here where this is all part of your ethical set of standards of how you're going to use this stuff. The fake musicians, they don't do that, right? But you guys are all putting in the reps here because you want to become the best version of yourself. And that's going to take a long time. So just accept that fact, embrace the pain. You're going to get your butt kicked, but you will prevail. So just keep showing up, and I'll do everything on here to help you. So the best musicians are usually aware of how much they still need to learn. And I'm critically aware of too, like where my weak spots are. And like, look, I know you guys come on here and you probably have this idea of who I am as a musician, but I have just as many things I need to work on as you do. Like, you know, we're all unique. We're always going to be learning. It's infinite. That's the beauty of music. So again, if you're a musician, you're using AI, make it your coach. Don't ask, is this good? Ask it things like, what am I missing? Again, just learning to use the tool. Where's this weak? What would a producer notice? What would an advanced guitarist fix? What should I work on next? Challenge. You want it to challenge your thinking, so you need to train it how to do that. Now, I bet you, even if you do this, I bet you it's still going to give you some form of flattery, and you're going to have to keep whipping it into shape. But don't use it. Don't overuse it, okay? So I don't overuse it either. But so here's kind of like where I am with it, okay? Just so you know, I work in the world of education, so of course I love tools. I love new tools, anything. I don't shut anything out. I'll try anything. I'll try everything, whatever works for me. If I'll kind of make it my own. I'll figure out how to framework it, okay? So like on here, I have the paid version of ChatGPT. I'm not all over 55 different platforms. Just like it's my same mindset, my same growth mindset for being a guitar player is how I use this stuff. I anchor in on one thing. I go deeper. I figure out how to use it at the deepest level, and then I grow. I succeed. I get better. So I use it for like video ideas. I use it to like organize lessons. I use it for brainstorming. I ask it for different perspectives. Now, I should probably practice what I preach. I want to start using it to try and find weak spots, but I'm going to have to train it to do that better, because it's just going to keep telling me how great, oh, that's the best video ever. This title will work. And it doesn't really seem to give the best titles. Great idea. I want it more like, here's why this might not work. So, but I have to figure out if I can even get it to do that. So we're going to find out. Let me know if you've ever, it's never once told me that's a terrible idea or that idea is weak. It's always, oh, that's going to work great. Okay. So I've actually started using it less and less because of that, because it's been frustrating. So I'll tell you one thing too. I did start having it help me with my thumbnails, right? Because I do know how to use like the Adobe stuff. Got rid of Adobe. Adobe, you're cooked. You should have never done the subscription model. Then I've got the Affinity Suite, which is the same stuff. Paid once, got it for life. And then, you know, I've been using it to help me make thumbnails. And I noticed on YouTube when I post the video, everyone's got a lot of the same looking thumbnails, same colors, same slanted font style, same styles. I was like, oh, they did that in ChatGPT. And how do I know? Because I'm using it. So then I had to train it like, do not put my font like this. Do not put it in this color. Do not put it in this style because I don't want to look like everybody. That's what's going to happen with music, or it's already happening. It's the same thing. Same freaking thing, okay? So what I did is I started to get fed up with it. And then I think the last thumbnail I made, I just did it old school. I went in Affinity Designer, moved the background, put up a white font, impact style font, and then posted it. And I'll still use AI, but again, I have to learn how to train it. So there are great ways of using it as a brainstorm or a tool to speed up tasks, but never let it replace you as an artist or a creator. And that's what a lot of people are just, it drives me insane when I hear the stories with like Suno and someone wrote a prompt and they're like, oh, this song's great. And they're not a musician at all. No offense. Listen, man, put in the work, become a musician. If you want to do that stuff. And that's why, full disclosure again, you guys don't know behind the scenes, but I get multiple offers, so many of late, from all these AI companies. Oh, let's do a brand deal. Let's do this. Reach out. And I respectfully decline. I tell them, hey, listen, I'm not going to promote anything that is going to replace me. Like, why am I going to promote my own death as a musician? I will not do that. So I promise you guys, I will never do that. Doesn't matter like how much money they flash, what kind of offers, I just won't do it. I could care less about that stuff, right? I think being authentic and building a reputation where you're transparent and you are honest, you have integrity, you have morals and standards. What is more important than that? Nothing. So if you're going to use AI, you better use it the right way or you will be outed. It's happening and it's going to keep happening. Okay. I think I think I can get off my soapbox now, right? So any questions you have for me too, let me know. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. So did you finish your dishes? Come drop a comment. Dog walk? Did you pick up the poop? Don't be one of those people that let your dog poop if you don't pick it up. AI will not pick up your dog poop, okay? Not yet. All right, so don't use AI to prove you're already great. Just use it as a tool to help you become great, okay? I think I've said enough. All right, drop jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. Love hearing where you guys are watching from. Man, I miss the ocean right now. I need to go surf. I love all you guys over in Australia, man. Mr. Elmer's Music Lab, live in Australia or anywhere that has waves. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. I will see you on the flip side. Get those ethical standards adopted for AI. Get rid of that sycophantic AI, okay? Put in the reps. Peace.